Gene Simmons once walked into a charity event and casually dropped $250,000 to help sick kids. No fire, no blood, no stage, just Gene. And a massive act of kindness almost nobody talks about. So here's the question. How does the God of Thunder turn into the guy quietly changing lives off stage? Let's pull the mask off the demon for a few minutes. Before we get to that shocking donation, you need to understand why it's so surprising. You probably know the image: black and white makeup, dragon boots, that insane tongue, fire breathing, blood spitting, the whole demon package. But Gene didn't start as the demon. He started as Chaim Witz in Haifa, Israel. At 8 years old, he and his mum, Flora, moved to Queens, New York. Dirt poor, single mum, new country, new language. That kind of childhood either breaks you or turns you into someone unstoppable. You already know which way Gene went. In 1973, Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, Ace Frehley and Peter Criss came together to create Kiss, not just as a band, but as a spectacle that would change rock music forever. 4 superheroes on stage. Gene becomes the demon, fire, blood, God of Thunder, the menacing growl that defined an era. Offstage, he builds a business empire, arrogant, sharp, totally in control. No drugs, no alcohol, not because he's an angel, but because he refuses to lose control of anything. So with that image in your head, the ruthless, larger-than-life demon, let's jump to the night where that myth cracks. March 2023. A fundraiser for Mending Kids, a charity that pays for life-saving surgery for children. Small room, no stadium, no pyrotechnics. Gene gets up. You'd expect a quick speech, maybe a signed bass, a photo op, right? Instead, he stuns everyone. A personal donation of $250,000, just like that. Then he throws in his axe bars for auction. It sells for $75,000. And because that's still not enough, he adds front row Kiss tickets and even offers to personally walk the winner's dog. That's not the demon. That's a very human, very generous Gene Simmons. And here's the thing. That night wasn't a random fluke. Once you look closer, you start seeing a pattern. Take Leo Wyatt, a 52-year-old Kiss superfan from Idaho with Williams syndrome. For 40 years, his whole world is Kiss, but he's never seen them live. A local news story about Leo makes its way to the band. Gene doesn't just send merch. He records a personal video inviting Leo as his guest, backstage and all. If you've seen Leo's reaction to that message, you know. This wasn't just fan service. You can see his entire life's dream hitting him in one moment. For Gene, that's a few minutes of his day. For Leo, that's forever. Even his Vault Experience box set shows this side. Instead of just mailing it, Gene hand-delivers it at events. He shakes hands, tells stories, takes photos. Is it business? Yes. But it's also a guy intentionally closing the distance between rock god and fan. So where does that come from? How do you get the demon on stage and this deeply loyal, surprisingly gentle guy off it? Everything points back to one person, his mother, Flora. At 14, she was thrown into Nazi concentration camps, including Auschwitz. She lost her entire family. She survived the unthinkable. After the war, she eventually reaches Israel, has Gene, then moves to America alone to build a new life. Gene has called her his moral compass. Her mantra? Every day above ground is a good day. Gene's lifelong sobriety? That's for her. He said, I'm my mother's only child. I had no right to harm my mother. Life did that enough. Once you know that, his offstage kindness makes sense. The demon is the show, the donations, the fan moments, the quiet generosity. That's the son of a Holocaust survivor trying to honor her strength. For 50 years, the world has focused on the armor, the blood, the tongue, the money. But if you pay attention to nights like that Mending Kids fundraiser, or fans like Leo, a different picture appears. Gene Simmons isn't two people. He's one man living out both sides of his story. The monster on stage and the grateful son off it. What do you think this reveals about the real Gene Simmons? Does it change how you see the demon at all? Tell me in the comments, and if you love these untold rock stories, subscribe so you don't miss the next one.